Well, sorry about that. It's dark again, and I'm in the truck again. It is breezy out here, and it just quit precipitating, raining. Saturday, the 27th, Lancaster, Ontario. It has been a crazy up and down day. I went to bed last night at 8. I got up at 2 in the morning, 2 something in the morning. I got up at 8. I went to bed at 8. And I was still awake at 12:30 last night. And I'd set my alarm for 2:30. I turned it off. And I think I got up at 6:30 this morning. But I got plenty of time to get this load there, so it's not a huge big deal. Rolled into Geneva, dropped the trailer, no problem. Hook up to my other trailer, get the paperwork. It's a piece of crap mess. Tarp wasn't done, worth 2 hoots. 8-inch tear in the tarp. The loaders left a bunch of left a big drop tarp on the trailer, and these are Maverick loaders. So I had to take care of all of that crap. Then I hook up to the trailer. It's got an ABS light. So I'm thinking, wow, I am not going to make it to Quebec. Can't happen now. There's just too much going on. By the time I get the trailer fixed, everything else. So I put the breakdown in and on the form, and I go ahead and start securing the trailer. That's the first thing I do. I get under the trailer, hook the air up to it, check everything out, and I find this ABS light. I get a phone call from the from the folks, and they're like, actually I never got a call from them. I got a call from the contractor, whoever they contracted to fix the trailer, and they're like, hey, we're like a block and a half from you. I'm like, really? Kill. Yeah, if you bring it over, I got a tech coming in, he can fix it real quick. And I'm going to tell you what, that boy was on it, and I was out of there. And I'm looking at my clock, and I'm looking at how long I got, because I'm only running Canadian time up here. And I'll show you real quick. Try not to blur you all out. But that's basically my clock. If I touch the little flag, it'll give me United States or Canada. United States, 26 minutes left. Canada, I got 2 hours and 26 minutes left. So I'm looking at it, and I'm like, yeah, I can make that. I can make it to Quebec tonight. Try not to drop my camera. And I'm rolling good. Not a problem in the world. I roll into Canada, and the guy at the border is asking me a ton of questions I've never been asked. And a lot of it, I think, surrounds the fact that I have a concealed carry permit, because that was a lot of his just questions. And I've been asked those questions before, but he went in depth. You know, do you carry with you now? No. You know, I mean, do you have it with you now? When's the last time there was a firearm in your vehicle? And on and on. Well, then he hands me a yellow slip, and he said, go over here, you're going to get inspected. And 2 guys went through this truck, and they went through everything. Everything. Every container opened, every box looked in, everything. And he had asked me if I had any spring-loaded knives. In other words, this is my normal carry knife when I'm working. It's a Case, American made, and it is absolutely the best knife I've ever owned. It keeps an edge like crazy. And then I have another knife up here that I had found on a glass trailer. This guy, he takes a razor blade, and I told him where these 2 knives were located. Well, he comes with another knife that I had forgot I bought, because I had lost this one. And I end up finding this knife. But that knife has a little button on the back right here, and as you pull it back, it pulls the blade around. It's not a switchblade, it's not spring-loaded. And he comes and gets me out of the little holding room. I don't know what else to call it, but it's appropriate name, I guess. And he said, let's talk, man. I said, all right. That indicated he found something. And he pulls out the knife, and it's still in its original box. I had never used it. And he said, did you forget to tell me about this knife? I said, where'd you find that? And he said, above the box above the passenger seat. I said, yeah, I lost that buck knife, and I bought that. And I said, then I found my buck, and I just threw it up there. But yes, I forgot all about it. And he said, well, you can buy that knife here in Canada, but you can't bring it in. I'm like, really? He said, no, you can't, because this little thumb button in the back, if you can open a knife with one hand, it's illegal. Even if you can buy it in Canada, you can't come across the border with it. Politicians. You know, if a busload of politicians went off a cliff, we'd lose a perfectly good bus. Yeah, you can go right into the stores and buy that knife. It's a Gerber, it's a nice knife. But if you bring it in, it's a $5,000 fine, and your vehicle will be fully inspected every time you enter the border for the next 7 years, no matter what you drive in there. He said, just take it home and don't bring it back. I'm like, cool. All right. Yeah, game on. So now that just absolutely quashed my chances of getting to Quebec. It took me well over an hour and 15 minutes to get done with that. And so I'm in Lancaster. I'm going to hit this. I decided to hit this pilot. I got a 5-hour drive tomorrow. And that's kind of the down thing. But then the up thing is the snow. This morning, 4 to 8 inches between Montreal and Quebec. It's now down to dusting to an inch. So there's the back up again. It's just kind of been roller coaster day. I'm not taking any of it personal. Like I told the guy, you know, I said, it's just your job. Go do your job. I said, I got nothing to hide in my truck. I didn't think I had anything to hide in my truck. But I did put the word out about that knife because, man, I was unaware. I was totally unaware. I figured if he'd say anything, he'd say about that case knife because of the length of the blade. Didn't care. Didn't bother. Because I told him I use them as a tool. And he says, yeah, I know what you guys use them for. To cut the tape and the rope and the glass, for the glass. I said, yeah. He said, but you can't have this one. You cannot have this one. I said, okay. So it's going to be Quebec tomorrow. Monday when I get this off, it's going to be 40 degrees. 40 sounds terrible. Monday. Tuesday's going to be 17. And I just was reading on a trucker safety thing. He said Manitoba is 69 below zero. Give me 40 all day, brother. 69 below. And then I'm going to roll back to Geneva with those glass racks. And then I think I got to do a 34 reset. And I don't like doing resets. I don't. Because the reset's another ticket to Canada. Either way, I won't have the miles I thought I had, which is kind of upsetting. I'm not going to break 3,000. I think I'm only going to have 700 miles. But I will have a Canadian and a live load. So those two right there will make up the difference in the coins that I'm losing on mileage. And then I should have a live load for these glass racks on Monday. I don't know how that works. I should get something for that. We'll see. And then I've got to call regulatory Monday because I do not know what to put on the form for what I'm bringing back. When I pick up in Montreal, those guys there do everything for you. Perfect English, which is kind of rare for Montreal. The guy speaks perfect English. You fill out the ACI sheet, where you're going back through and everything. They do 100% of everything else. All the paperwork is done. All I need to do is come in here, my computer, and do my crossing into the U.S., which I'll show you that form real quick. Now, going back empty, I do not need to do this form, okay? Yeah, I hit the wrong button, sorry. Going back empty, I do not need to do a crossing into the U.S., okay? This is for full or loaded inlet. Loaded only, okay? Watch me, I probably won't be able to find it. Here it is. Cross into the U.S. This is a form I submit. And then Maverick can get me all the clearances I need to come in. But there's basically your port name, your ETA at the port. Might be a little blurry, sorry. Your pieces of glass, your weight, your parse codes, labels. Do you have a passenger? Okay. I do not know how to fill that out. And I don't know how to fill out the paperwork for coming back into the U.S. The form normally says empty glass trailer with securements if I have like the A-frame things going on. With these racks, I got to call Regulatory Monday and find out exactly what I'm supposed to put on that form. I do not want to be hung up at the border again. I can just see the guys in New York going, "Hey, are you like the guy that brought the illegal knife into Canada?" Funny, the guys in New York sound like Cheech Ramirez. Oh well, I'm spent. Ain't been a huge day, 12-hour day. It's just been a lot going on. So I'm going to go in there and get a shower. I'm going to grab some food. I'm going to lay down, and then I really don't care what time I get up, because I only got 5 hours to run up there. I was talking to their driver. He's like, "Yeah, I'm going to get up in the morning and I'm going to roll an hour and a half." I said, "Where are you going?" He told me. I said, "Dude, you better check that. You're almost 6 hours from where you think you need to be." And he looked, he's like, "Oh man." Which wouldn't have affected anything. Which would not have affected anything. He was still going to get up and roll. But he was thinking he was going to Montreal and he's going to go back. And they're not together. So we'll talk to y'all. I'll try to get a video or some pictures or something of the glass racks before I take them off. In the morning, I might try to get you a picture of this ugly tarp. Please don't eat before looking at this tarp.